Happy Friday and welcome to Bold Badass Business, where we bring you badasses across the globe, right, Kay? And
That's
today,
right.
across the globe. Today, I just want to use my really bad British accent, but I'm
Oh
not.
no.
I'm like, hello. Today we have Kay Suthar. You all, I have to tell you, I met Kay on the Podcasters Cruise, and it was just like love at first sight. I was like, this woman's a badass. She just emits that badass energy. And she has her own podcast agency called Make Your Mark Podcast Agency. You should know that Kay is someone who has worked with the top coaches across the globe. She's been on their sales forces even before she started her own business. So you get on a phone call for her, just have your checkbook out. That's all I have to say. Have your card ready because she's going to take it and she's going to help you get where you want to go. She loves helping you start your own podcast, which is really a necessity these days. So today we're talking about the 7 must-have tech hacks you need for business because we want to save you time, we want to save you energy, we want to curate what you need to be using. So welcome to the show, Kay.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to be here. We finally made it.
We made it! Woohoo! Just took us scheduling like back and forth over and over because we're both going so many places and involved in so much. It's great to be busy. We are not complaining, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. So I'm so excited to be here and to be sharing this information with your audience.
I know. And I know that everybody is getting out their pens, aren't you people? Yes, you are. Get out your pens and paper because you're going to want to take notes. You know, there are so many apps out there. There's so much software out there. And it is just a gift to have some curated, annotated explanations of what we can do with stuff. And, you know, I have my ideas about what you may talk about, Kay. I have my ideas about what's important, but let's hear, like, if you were on a desert island, okay?
Oh, okay.
How about this? You're on a desert island and there's this hunky tech geek. And he walks up to you and he says, in a what kind of accent? He says, Kay, if you would like to have one tech tool, you can only have one tech tool, and I will help you learn to use it for your business. I'm wondering, what would you say to him? What would be your answer?
Oh God, one tech tool that will help with my business.
And you could only choose one.
Oh my
From
goodness.
Mr. Hunky Tech Geek.
That will help with my business. Oh, there's so many to choose from. How can you do this?
I know, isn't that a hard question? Like, there's only, let's say, what would be the one that you would say has to presuppose everything? And I'm guessing just because of Make Your Mark Podcast Agency that it would have to do with podcasting.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. So I'm thinking, well, it would have to be, do you know what? Let's go with the easy one that everyone knows how to use, right? It's so popular, especially during the pandemic, and you can do everything on there when it comes to podcasting, and that is Zoom.
Zoom, Zooma, 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 Zoom. Woo, woo. Yes, we have to have Zoom. It's not optional.
No, like it's the go-to. Everyone knows how to use it now, right? You can connect with anybody around the world. It does so many different things. It's got AI generated tools in there now as well, right? Transcripts, all of these good things, and you just need one thing, one platform, Zoom, and it can do it all for you.
All right, I love that. I'm glad you're saying this. And now let's give some people some tips that they haven't thought about for Zoom, because there are so many things that you can do with it. And I'll share one of mine, and we could just kind of go back and forth. I know you use the AI. I don't use the AI so much, but here's what I do, you all. When I'm coaching people in my Make It Happen Mastermind coaching program, I have them taking notes in the chat. So not only do I use the chat to ask them questions to make sure they're paying attention, right? And I give out prizes based on the answers, which is fun. I do that in my presentations too, right? So which would you rather, this or this? First person to give the answer gets a prize. But I have them taking notes in the chat. So then when we finish the coaching hour, it's the group coaching that I do this for. Sometimes I do it in individual, but it's the group coaching I do it for. Then I actually give them a title, the date, and just a quick summary in one phrase of what we went over. So it'd be like Power Hour, May 17th, 2024, how to enroll difficult customers. And I send it out to them via email. They print it out and put it in a ring binder. And I tell them, print it out, put it in a ring binder, because that way you can just flip through really fast and go over things. You don't have to open up different documents. Just put them in a ring binder. And every now and again, just take that out and flip through and review. So that's something I love to do. It's kind of a hybrid of traditional education with Zoom education.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. See, one of the features that I like, right, and not many people know about this and how it works, right? So you can record on your device or in cloud, right? I would always say record in cloud. Do not do it on device, okay? And there's for a couple of reasons here. Number one, when you record in cloud, it opens up other features, right? So it will even create the transcripts like we said earlier. It will do so many other things, and you can actually record it in like speaker only, having everyone on the actual Zoom and record everyone individually. Like, it can do so many things. But the biggest reason why, and I found this, I don't know if anybody else has found this, but if you record on your device, sometimes the recording can go missing.
Oh, yes, it can. Or your device can be, can go missing. Your device can go kapunk.
Right? So if you record on cloud, like, I find it records really well, right? It's all in the cloud. You can access it from any device. If anything goes wrong with your laptop, your computer, it's all there. You can access it. Yeah, and it's just so much better to do it on cloud. So that's my tip.
I love that. And you can take the transcriptions that you can do through the AI part. I do this sometimes. You can take the transcriptions, everybody, just grab those transcriptions, and you could give them to a VA and have them turn them into short posts for your social media. You could have them take those and put them into a tips booklet. You could turn it into an information product pretty darn easily just from the transcripts.
Yeah. And it's funny because a lot of the AI platforms, they all need the transcript. So always, no matter what you do, not just podcast episodes, any video that you're recording on Zoom, make sure you have the transcript setting on go, right? Make sure you switch it on, because then you can use that anywhere and repurpose it. Oh my goodness, I love repurposing.
Absolutely. You shouldn't have to go back in and figure out, how to transcribe that or use transcription software that's separate. Just do it from the beginning and have it ready and save it. And you can use it in so many different ways. Yes, repurposing is one of the most important ways that we can leverage our time. And so you want to make sure that whatever you do, and even, good Lord, I always say to people, if you're going to write a book, you don't need to write the book. What you do is you just open up your email, or you can go in and do a Zoom video and transcribe it and just talk to the person you want to write to, quote unquote, talk to them, and you can do your chapters that way.
Absolutely. Or actually, I'm actually looking to write a book, but I don't want to write it.
Yeah,
I don't want to write it. Right? So instead, I'm like, I've got all my courses, I've got all the videos, the content was all there. Right? You just kind of just shove it up in like a platform, an AI platform that can read it all, that can create it for you. And there's so many different platforms, AI platforms you can use, or you can just get a ghostwriter to kind of go through the content and write it out for you. Like,
so I love that. And I'm thinking, let's just move on to the next one. I want us actually to talk about podcasting, because this relates, what we're talking about with Zoom also relates to podcasting, in that you can do your podcast, you all, and each episode can become a chapter of a book. You could
Yes.
do a compilation book. I want you to listen. I'm in 2 of these right now, you all. One is called Grit, Guts, and Courage, and I don't even remember the name of the other one. And what's great about being in these compilation books, the people who offer them, they take their favorite podcast episodes, turn them into chapters, and then they charge people and produce the book. And everybody markets it together, and you have a bestseller. Hello.
Oh my goodness, how easy is that? You see, it's so funny because like creating, I guess, different content has become so easy now,
It has.
right? And I love it because you can create so much. And this is one of the things that I say to people when they're starting their podcast, right? Because people seem to think, oh yeah, let's start a podcast and that's it. No, like repurpose that content that you've created, turn it into blogs, create the newsletters, right? But see, I'm all about video podcasting, right?
Me
I know a lot
too.
of people shy away from it, but I'm all about video podcasting. Why? Because you can leverage it even more and repurpose it, make snippets, put it on social media, right? And you don't want to make things harder. Like you said earlier, let's work smarter, not harder. Right?
Exactly. And I don't even believe in work, Kay. Work is a 4-letter word. I believe in fun. I believe in fun. If you're not having fun in your business, people, then go back to your cubicle. I'm serious. You are not going to be successful in business. Let's just be real, unless you really enjoy it. You're in a state of joy as you do it. You're not going to stand the test of time, because even in my 23 and a half years of business, there've been moments where I was like, tend to do something a little differently, and that's part of being in business. So you've got to have that joy. You got to have that fun. It should be a constant exploration. And that's what this technology lets us do. It lets us just do constant fun exploration, and we get to learn things all the time.
Rosie, I'm so glad you mentioned that, right? Because I feel like a lot of people get scared of if they want to change direction or pivot elsewhere, that they can't do that and they have to stick to what they've built. But that's not the case.
It's not the case. Now, I do coach people to stick with one thing and monetize it and make it profitable, and then add another thing, right? Because if you try to build up 3 things at once, it's not going to work. You're going to be scattered, and your shit's going to be scattered. Your products are going to sound like shit. How many times did I use that word today? I don't know why. You're just freaking it out of me. But, I should say shite, right?
Shite. Yeah, maybe say shite. But see, you gotta say it with a British accent, though.
Right.
There you go. I love how your eyebrows go up too.
I was giving a presentation last night, and it's a group that's a little bit, they're very spiritual, and so I am known to drop a few words every now and then, and so I was being very careful to say, that if my point was, if someone is a nice person before they have money, after they have a lot of money, they're going to be a nice person too. And if they are, as Shakespeare would say, an arse before they have money, then they're going to be an arse afterwards. And everybody was like, oh, they're tittering. But if I said ass, they would have been like, oh my God. But
it is very true.
Shakespeare gave me credibility last night. Your predecessor, Kay, he gave me credibility.
Oh my goodness.
Or Shakespeare was baughty as they come.
Do you know what, though? The way you said that, when you said it, I was like, oh my goodness, she sounds like a pirate.
A pirate?
A pirate, yes.
Arse. I'll get your arse. Hey, you all, we'll do a pirate episode next time, Kay. We'll be. How can you dress up in the gear and everything in your business? Be a pirate. So I love, okay, so let's talk about the podcast piece, because you all, I have to tell you, okay, listen up, everybody. Kay and I were in the airport in Orlando, right? Yeah. And we were having a nice final meal, with a couple of other fun ladies. And Kay was giving me the download on, here's what you need to do, Barnsley, because I'm turning the video podcast that you all know and love. I know you love it and know it. And I'm turning it from LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. It's going into audio format too. And it will be on all the major platforms. And Kay was telling me, okay, here's what you do. Here's what you use, blah, 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 blah. So, Kay, how about sharing? If somebody says, I want to start a video podcast, what is their must-have tech tool?
Oh my, so I like to keep things simple, right? I don't like complicated tech. I don't like tech where you need a degree, right, in knowing how to use it. And so, like I say to everybody, just use Zoom first of all, right? You know how to use it. You don't have to kind of learn it. Everyone knows. Just go ahead and start doing videos on there, right? Once you become comfortable and you want to then upgrade to something else, right, like StreamYard, then go ahead and do it. But keep it simple in the beginning. Right.
Okay,
And
so I'm going to say an opposite opinion.
oh,
Let's
go
have
for it.
fun. Let's fight it out, Kay. All right. All right. So here's the thing. I totally agree that, just get started. You're absolutely right. I believe that. And I want to save y'all some time. Don't be cheapskates. Just get StreamYard for real. Get StreamYard and I've been preaching this to my clients who want to start podcasts, because then you can so easily record. Right now, you can go live like Kay and I are using StreamYard. You can also pre-record and schedule it later so it looks like it's live, but it's not. And the great thing is that people can comment and you do one video and it simultaneously goes out to your 3 platforms. And it's only, you all, good Lord, for a year, it's like $250. And you don't have to go to each platform and upload your shite. So stop doing it the hard way. Just start. Basically, if you go on one platform, or if you take Zoom and you just put it on one platform because you don't have time to go upload it to all the others, that's okay. But when you use StreamYard, it's done simultaneously. So you save time and you get exposure to 3 big audiences rather than 1 at a time. So it's a way to leverage, and it's worth it. And damn it, you all, it's a tax write-off. That's all I have to say. So, and I'm an affiliate, so I'm going to put my thing up here for you all because I don't want you to be cheapskates. All right. Just do it right from the beginning. And I've learned that the hard way. I am telling you, Kay, I have learned it the hard way. I did not use a proper email program at the beginning of my business. Of course, that was when email was like, oh, that's a new thing. And then I ended up changing over to Kickstart Cart, also known as One Shopping Cart. And I lost like 3,000 subscribers because I moved over. So do it right from the beginning, you all. Just don't be cheap. That's all I have to say.
There you go, guys. Go ahead, get StreamYard, right? Get started with that.
StreamYard now. And then when you get StreamYard, this is where about all the distribution, the ways to make distribution easy, like to distribute it out. Yes. What's your favorite tool for that? Okay.
So first of all, you gotta, if you always, if you're doing video, make sure you extract the audio, like I know you're going to be doing, and put it on an audio platform, right? Now, in order to do that, you can put even the video on YouTube and everywhere else that you're going to be streaming, but you want to extract that. And the best way to do it is by having a hosting system, a podcast hosting system. Okay. Now, the reason why you want to do that, because there's several different distribution channels. You're not going to go and put the audio on each one individually. No, you don't want to do that. That's not working smart, right? And so what you want to do is have a hosting system, and there's so many of them around. I use Buzzsprout. I absolutely love Buzzsprout, right? But there's
Buzzsprout, B-U-Z-Z Sprout, right? S-P-R-O-U-T. Buzzsprout. It's a really interesting name.
Yeah, it is. But I absolutely love them because I've used so many others prior to it, and I was like, I wish someone told me about this before. It's so easy to use, right? It's just, it is what it is, right? What you see in front of you, it is what it is. And what it does is once you have been approved on these channels, it automatically uploads all the audio to all the other distribution channels.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, right? Hallelujah, glory, hallelujah. So it's like Libsyn.
Yes.
Okay, there's another one you all could, so you've got 2 right now you could look at and see the differences, Buzzsprout, Buzzsprout. And I think somebody had a buzz when they created that name. And then, they were like drinking or something. Then there's Libsyn, Libsyn, and Libsyn is one of the original ones. It's an old one. It's like a classic.
It is
vintage. Oldie but a goodie. Newer, right? Isn't that right?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely newer. And again, it has AI features in there. One thing that I absolutely love about Buzzsprout is the customer service. It's so on point. They don't get off the line until you're 100% happy with what they've given you, the information, right? And that goes a long way for me.
It's video and audio together, right? You can do video and audio, both.
So on Buzzsprout, you just do audio.
Okay.
Right? And it puts it all over the distribution audio only. Right?
Okay. Because I know Libsyn does audio and video.
There you go.
But I don't know. Yeah, I'm about to sign up for Libsyn, so I can't tell you more than I looked at the different plans, and they have the audio only, which was very reasonable. It was, it depends on how many minutes you need, but it was anywhere from like $10 to $30 a month. It wasn't a lot, and then the video raised it up a little bit more. But I'm not sure exactly what they mean. How I'm not sure where they distribute it on video, and if you already have StreamYard, you probably have the video covered.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I know Buzzsprout streams to YouTube as well. Yeah. So if you've been doing that, maybe Libsyn does the same thing. It distributes to YouTube, right?
I don't know.
So you can totally do that as well. It's all in there. It's completely up to you, which one that you actually prefer using. You got to see which one you actually like. But I think most of the different platforms will actually have it on audio, and you can put it on YouTube as well.
That's fabulous. Yep. I love it. And so once they get that distribution service, and really you all know you are not going to each different place and uploading that audio. If you do that, we're literally going to curse you through the internet, and you're going to be struck by lightning. No joke. I'm serious. You can't do that. That's a waste of your time and energy. And that is also money, right? Do your high value activities. So what are some of the other tools that you recommend for those who are podcasters? Let's maybe give them one or two more out of our 7 today. We've already got 2. So what would be 1 or 2 more for podcasters you would say are just really essential that you love?
So I always say to people that if you're going to have a podcast, you've got to have a podcast website. Okay. The reason for this, when I say a separate podcast website to your main business is like a separate URL, right? And the URL for your podcast website should be the name of your podcast, right? And the reason why I say a separate one is because I'm all about building assets as well, right? When it comes to podcasting, you want to build. Podcast is a big asset, but you want to build on that. And domains are digital assets. Okay. And so if you have that and you have a separate website and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I don't want to create another website, I don't want to hire somebody else, it's too much work. There's a platform that will do all of that for you, and it's got SEO embedded.
OMG, lands of living, hallelujah, let's hear it.
All right, the guy that created this worked for Google for 20 plus years and created this especially for podcasters. Right? And understands SEO, and it's called Podpage.
Podpage.
Yes.
Oh, wow. And it's got the SEO and everything.
Everything inbuilt. And guess what? You can connect to your hosting platform with Podpage. So once the episode goes up, it goes onto the website as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So basically, you've just done it all. Once you set these things up, you press a button and it's done for you.
Yep, all done.
That's amazing. So Kay, let me ask you something, okay? Because I remember you telling me in the airport, yes, you need to go ahead and get your boldbadassbusiness.com, which I did. I did get it. And then what I've done is created actually on my website, I've created a page, but I can still funnel that page over to my website, right? Okay. I can still redirect it over there.
Absolutely. This is the trick, right? You want, because for SEO reasons, backlinking and all of that kind of stuff, right? You want your business website and your podcast website interlinked, right? So people go back and forth, because then Google's going to see, oh my goodness, they're getting a lot of traffic. They're going back and forth. It's going to raise it even higher.
Love that. Okay, did everybody get that? That's super important, because you're getting the backlinks, right? So from your pod page, or whatever separate page you have for your website, to your actual business website where you'll have a page for your podcast, you're getting backlinks, right? And this is giving you, but this is pushing you up in the search engines, basically. Yeah. But it's also showing that your sites are of note, right? That you're someone who's being commented on, that you're someone that there's conversation about, etc. And you want to create that. Absolutely. That's so good. That is really smart. It's kind of like when authors have a different page for every single book. So if you have multiple podcasts, you're going to have a different page for every podcast. Absolutely. And then you might have them all come back into your main business website. Love that. So you're creating, think about it in the Monopoly board, right? You're buying up all the property online.
Yes. Absolutely. And what I love about this is you're just playing the game. It's all organic. You're not having to pay no Google ads, right? But you just
don't do that.
Right. You
want organic growth anyway. The value of organic growth, and by organic, we mean that you're not really paying for it. It's by content. It's by connections. It's by referral. It's not by you paying for leads or paying for traffic, because those things, it's just like cold calls, cold calls, they have a 1% success rate, 1% success rate. So a cold call is kind of like a Facebook ad poorly done, really poorly done. They're about the same thing, really.
Yeah.
And why do that when you could have connections with other sites, with other people, with other JV partners, with other affiliates, and everyone's talking about you, and you have content out there, and you are being seen as a credible authority in your field.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one other thing I want to mention about domains, right? So make sure that your podcast title, I would say around about 3 words, right? 3 words. But also when you get the domain, you want to make sure it's those 3 words with the word podcast and then .com.
Gotcha.
Right? So my podcast is called Make Your Mark. My domain is makeyourmarkpodcast.com. And the reason for that is because the word podcast is a massive keyword on Google. So again, leverage that.
Ooh. So people searching are going to find you popping up.
Yes.
Now that is special. So that's really important. That's great advice. And again, if I compare it to authors, it's why people do blank book, or it's .com. That is such good advice. You all, I hope you are catching what Kay is laying down here, all the way from London town. London town. That's such great stuff. So let's kind of move, Kay, let's move away from podcasting, because I know there's some people listening who are like, well, I'm not ready to do a podcast. Well, you should be, but you should be starting even if you're not ready. Seriously, mine was birthed when I had slightly too much to drink on a Saturday night, and got on with a friend of mine. I was like, let's just do some coaching online, and it became an interview, and that's how it started. Seriously, that's how it started, like a year and a quarter ago, was that way. It's like parenting. You're never going to be ready, so just freaking do the thing.
Yeah.
This podcast, birth it.
Yeah. Build the plane while you fly it.
Yeah. Right. It's so fun to sit in the plane on the on the asphalt and think about flying it. It's no fun to stand beside the plane and pretend that you're flying it, like holding the wing as if you're going to get in there and fly it. Get in the freaking plane and fly, people. Seriously, and the only way you learn to fly, by the way, I know this, Kay, because I have flown. One of my gifts to myself on my 50th birthday some years ago was to have my first flying lesson.
Wait, someone allowed you to get behind
Yeah.
the wheel of a plane? Oh my goodness.
It's not really a wheel, by the way. It's like this thing.
Yeah, I don't know what you
It's really a wheel, but you know what I remember? Okay, now this is perfect for this interview, actually. Here's the thing, you all. When you start to fly, you think, oh my God, I can't do this, blah, blah, blah. Or you're worried, I'm going to crash. But when I got up to a certain altitude, the instructor who was over there, he didn't have his hands, by the way, on his controls. There were 2 sets of controls. He was letting me do it. And he said, okay, now take your hands off the controls. And I looked at him like, what? And he said, yeah, the plane's right. It's where it needs to be. And it's just going to right itself and keep going. Take your hands off. Seriously, I'm not kidding, Kay. And this is a great metaphor because once you get some podcasts under your belt, you get some episodes under your belt, you get your system in place for how you communicate with your guests, for providing their swipe copy ahead of time, their swipe copy after, for getting them graphics so they can promote as well as you. The promotion should be before, after, and continuous. Once you get this system in place, you really can kind of take your hands back from the controls a little. Yeah. And you can have a VA implement for you, which is what I do. And you can take your hands back. But at the beginning, you're going to need your hands on the controls for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I guess that's generally in business. This as a kick-ass coach, right? Like in the beginning, you're going to have to be hands-on, right? Fully hands-on. And then once you've got the process, the structure, everything in place, you can just let it ride.
I love that. Yes, you better be hands-on. Because there are other people out in that sky or on that road, right? Okay, my daughter has her learner's permit right now, okay? And please pray for me because we've had a number of near accidents. That's all I have to say. And she's like, Mom, you almost caused that because you go, or, but I said, honey, I'm going to differ with you on that. Mom did not cause that. Just learning to get the spacing right as we change lanes. But see, that's why you want a coach. That's why they do learner's permits, so you don't crash your car and kill yourself, right?
Right.
And it's true in business. You don't want to crash and burn. This is why you need Kay to help you start your daggone podcast. Stop waffling about and do it. It's why you need me to soar into 6 figures and more, because if you do what most people do, and most people, 86.3% of people don't get to 6 figures ever. Those in business, 86.3% don't.
That's a big number.
Do not get to 100,000.
That's a big number. That's huge. Yeah, that's shocking. Actually,
can you imagine? So those of us who do, we're like 1%. About 1-point-something% are 7-figure and beyond. And the other 12-13% of us are 6-figure and beyond.
Wow.
Can you imagine? So you all don't do the stupid thing. Don't try to go it alone, Don't do that.
No, absolutely not. Get a shortcut, right? Like me and Marcy have learned the hard way.
Yes, we have.
Right? So now we can tell you guys there's an easy way to do all of this.
Yeah, because we've done it the wrong way.
Yes. You don't have to anymore, right? You really don't have to.
Exactly. And there's nothing better than just learning from somebody else's mistakes so you don't have to do them. That is an investment that is irreplaceable, really. So Kay, what would be another tech hack or two that you would recommend for people that you really think, whatever their business is, they've got to have this these days? And I'm guessing it's going to be something around.
Yes. I would say Cast Magic. There's a tool.
Cast Magic. Okay, y'all, that means cast magic in English.
Oh, goodness.
I mean American English. Cost magic sounds so much better, but cast magic. CASTMAGIC. No wonder
Right.
you Brits think we don't speak English. I mean, it really does sound
You
pretty.
guys
Cast
speak
magic.
American. We speak English.
Cost magic.
Cost magic. Yes.
Magic. Sounds so much more refined.
This is the thing. We can say all sorts of words, curse words and everything, and it sounds fine.
That's right. It sounds
Right?
so nice. It's like, you bloody hell better not do that.
Exactly.
Give us some curse words, Kay. Let's hear you. Okay, so let's say I just smashed your car right
Oh,
out there.
bloody hell.
Oh, that doesn't sound bad at all.
No.
It sounds like you're saying hello. What else would you say? Only bloody hell?
Oh, shit.
You would say shit, not shite?
No, yeah, we say shit. Oh,
You say
shit.
shit. Okay, shite, I think, is the Shakespearean version, right? Shite.
Or you say, for fuck's sakes.
For fuck's sake, that sounds so much better than how it sounds. It sounds like it's coming out of a rapper's mouth here. I'm not going to say it, y'all. I know some of you are like, say it, but I'm not.
Oh, you're
All
not?
right.
Oh my God. I so said it. I said,
Oh,
you know
you
what?
said it, but you said it with a British accent, so you got away with it.
It's true.
Okay, so my first love was British, Kay. My first love was British.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. The man I lost my virginity with, in fact. Oh, wow. Let's talk about this on Bold Badass Business. Everybody's listening now.
Oh, no.
Yes, it was 5 years ago, and he was, no. No, seriously, I had studied in Edinburgh, and I had this friend, and I just he was very British, and I just fell in love with his fun sense of humor and his personality. We were friends, and then it became something more when I was coming back to the US, right?
Oh.
But what I said to Philip was his name, Philip with one L, is that Philip I could give him a grocery list, and he would read it, and it was sexy. Seriously. Butter.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Zucchini. It all sounded so good. Biscuit.
Yeah. That's right.
Digestives. Those sound nasty, but they're so good. You all, if you haven't been to Britain, digestives are like these really sweeter than graham crackers, really grainy,
So
kind of
yummy.
delicious, lovely cookie cracker things. But don't they sound horrible? Digestives. You know, it sounds like Metamucil or something. Anyway, I got on a little tangent there, but the point is that he got away with a lot because he could just say it in the British accent, and it just makes you melt, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I find that when I come to the US, it's so funny. They're like, "Oh, you have an accent." I'm like, "No, I don't. I'm English. Like, I speak English. You guys have the accent, right?"
Y'all were colonized by us. Well, I have news for you, Kay. You're independent now of your little island.
and so the accent always gets it when, like, you say certain words, like we say aubergine, right? And people are like, "What the hell is that?"
Aubergine, so beautiful.
Right?
It's an eggplant here.
It's an eggplant. But a lot of our words actually come from like the French language as well.
Yes, exactly. Aubergine is French.
Yeah.
You know, well, there are two roots to English. You know, there's the Germanic side, which is where you get stuff like beer, meat, fuck. That's the Germanic side. Really, fuck. That's the Germanic side. And then we have the Latinate side, which is, you know, French and the Romance languages, Italian, all of that. And there's that side. We have these two sides to English, and they're so very different, you know? Anyway.
Did you know that the word
butcher all those French words here? The poor Académie Française is like, God, those Americans, you know, they just butcher it all. They say cul-de-sac, cul-de-sac. I mean, that sounds like a gunny sack. What are y'all talking about?
Oh my God. Do you know even the word entrepreneur is a French word?
Oh, right. Yeah, it's a French word.
Yeah, no, people don't realize that. But it's come from, France. Like, but now everybody uses it. It's in like every language now.
Yeah, so cool. Well, you know, daggone those French people. I lived in France for a while, and I have to admit there was a lot of cultural snobbery in the area where I lived. There really was, and I got into it a little bit with a few.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, I did.
I believe it. I believe
Oh, I did, Kay. I did. Now, you all, I know you're loving this little aside about, potato and potato, tomato and tomato. And it's interesting, though, because it does differentiate you when you work with people in other countries. Like, I always felt super special when I was studying in London and France and also in Edinburgh. I felt very special in a way that I am not special here in North Carolina. And so I would say that there's a business tip in here that isn't even something we meant to talk about, but the business tip is put yourself in cultures other than your home culture because you will be special. Just because of the way you talk, the way you look, the way you dress, because it's somehow different from what everybody's used to, you're going to stand out. So it actually is a way of differentiating yourself in business that is very powerful.
Yeah, it's a great marketing tool as well. Like one of the things that I learned, and I found out this about myself because people are like, but what makes you different, Kay? What makes you different, right? And I'm like, I don't know. And then I realized I'm the only British Indian female that has a podcast agency in the world.
Beautiful. Hot dag.
Right.
Perfect.
And I'm like, yeah, you got to use it. You got to use everything about you, right? And make it unique, right? Your culture, your background, like anything, make it unique and about
All
you.
right, so now I'm just seeing a trailer with you doing like Bollywood dances. Which I do obviously do not, those of you who are watching the video portion of this can see that I do not know how to do those, but I'm just seeing you with that like the wonderful upbeat Bollywood music, and you're talking about your Make It Mark agency, and you're eating palak paneer and samosas. Oh, listen, girl, I became like the Indian food aficionado when I had never had it before I lived in London, and I still to this day love Indian food.
Yes, but I feel like Indian food in London is like the number one go-to cuisine.
It's the best.
It is.
It is, no doubt. You can go into this little hole in the wall place. They have fresh herbs. The family is cooking it, and you get this whole, you get your appetizer, your entree, your dessert, that wonderful rice pudding. Oh, I'm getting hungry right now talking about this. I know, everybody, you're getting hungry too, but can you see why I told you Kate should come on? Because she really is different in so many ways. Not just, yeah, but she's different. She's fun. She's creative. She makes it fun. So you're not going to have, podcasting as a chore when you work with Kay. And you're not going to have coaching as a chore when you work with me. You're going to enjoy it.
Right.
We're gonna kick your butt if you don't. No, seriously, we have fun with you.
Yeah, and it should be that way.
It should be that way.
Should be fun. If it's a chore, shouldn't. Maybe that's not the business you should be in. Right?
If it's a chore, go be a chimney sweep.
That could be fun. That could be really good fun.
Being a chimney sweep?
When you say chimney sweep,
sing and dance.
I think of Mary Poppins when you say chimney sweep. Right?
Chimney, you can go be in Broadway shows and whatever. All right, you all. Well, we've got to wrap, Miss Kay. We do, but this has been so interesting. One last must-have tech tool, because we're giving them all the 7. What's one last one you're like, y'all better go check this out?
One last tech tool. Oh my goodness. One last tech tool.
We have to say Chat GPT, right? We have to.
I was going to say that, but I was like,
Everybody says that.
Yeah. Everyone does.
Chat used wisely. Chat used to figure out what's keeping your ideal client avatar up at night. Not chat to write your shit, people. Chat to do your market research. Chat GPT for market research. What do you think?
And I think, yeah, that's right. And also getting good with your commands. Like that seems to be a big thing.
Getting right?
Getting good with writing commands.
Yes. Oh, that makes all the difference.
It really does, right? And there's a lot of people that still don't understand it, still just put in gibberish and wondering why they're getting really bad results.
I love that. So you have got to take, if if you want to find something out, just go on YouTube and ask, how should I write the command to find out XYZ, and see what one of these hunky tech nerds says, like the
do you
guy
know
on the
what?
island.
Just ask ChatGPT itself and ask, how do you want me to tell you this?
Just ask the damn Chatty. I call her Chatty.
Oh,
Hey, we've got to finish up, dear. We do, but you and I could talk for hours and we could entertain you all. I have no doubt about that. We'd probably be singing you pirate songs shortly. But Kay, I know that you've got a gift to give people, and I'm going to be putting it, everybody, just so you know, it'll be in the freebie vault, which is located at bit.ly. I'm going to have my VA, my virtual assistant, and she's a tech must have. I have two of them now. I'm going to have them put it into the freebie vault at bit.ly/free from Dr. B, DRB, bit.ly/free from Dr. B. So you will go in there and then you will be able to find Kay's gift and the thousands of dollars of gifts from everybody who's been on the show. It's going to be awesome. So Kay, what are you going to give them? Just give us one sentence about it. And we don't need the URL because it's going to be in that freebie vault.
Okay, so it's basically 5 simple steps to get your podcast up and running within 14 days.
Whoa!
Right? Yes. Right. So it's very simple, very basic, straight to the point, gives you all the information, why it should be done in a certain way, and you can get up and running right now without having to procrastinate.
Well, I love that. And we're going to end there. So there is no excuse, people. We'll have that up in the freebie vault in the next few days. You get on there. Listeners, get on there. No more excuses. Be a badass about this. Don't stand on the tarmac wondering how to fly the plane. Get the report, and you can get your podcast up and running. All right. So, Kay, it has been a joy having you here. You've given us so much to think about, and I know that you and I will do more projects together. I mean, and of course, we're going to be on the Podcasters Cruise again together too.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
It's beautiful to have you here. And everybody, continue to be a badass. And just remember that even when you don't feel like a badass, you obviously are, or you would not have tuned in today. Come back next week at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific every Friday to hear our next badass guest on Bold Badass Business. And make sure to like and share this, would you? Don't be a greedy slug. Share, give, be a giver to all the people around you, and let them get their badassery on as well. See you next week.
Bye.